Welcome everybody, this is Scott from Team Twisted Duelist. I'm going to be doing my profile for Ultra Athletes UAs, and we're going to get right into it. I run 3 copies of Midfielder, one of the main cards in the deck you need, so you can normal summon him easily and start popping him to the hand for other UAs and making plays. Really good to have. A lot of the cards in the deck consist of getting him to the field as fast as possible, or at least having him. So he's really good and needed to get to the deck, get to the hand, so you can make your plays. One of my favorite cards from the deck: 3 copies of Perfect Ace. On your opponent's turn, you can discard a card, negate any card activation or card effect, which is really good. You can do it once per turn per Perfect Ace. So if you have multiples on a field, you have multiple chances of negating and keeping advantage and stopping your opponent from playing anything. I love to have him. He has 2,500 defense, so you can stall on him for a while if necessary when your hand's not as great as others. He's a level 5 too, so you can Monarch Stormforce to get him on the field without having to tribute anything. We got 2 UA Mighty Sluggers. 3 is not bad, 2 works perfectly. I wouldn't run him 1 because 2 comes in really handy just in case you have to get rid of 1, or if one happens to get to the graveyard. When he attacks, your opponent can activate cards or effects, so that saves you from getting hit by certain back row. So he's really good to have. Moving along, I run one of my other favorite cards in the deck is Blockbacker. He has 2,500 defense, so he will be good at holding on the field and not getting over him really easy. Also, during your opponent's turn, if they special summon a monster, or even on your own turn, I guess, you can change the battle position of that monster, then negate their effects. So, like if you're playing against Fluffles, they bring out a sheep, put them in defense, negate his effect, or if they happen to bring him out for some reason in defense, you can change him to attack position and negate his effects also, or with any other special summon monster. So that's really good to have. Stops a lot of decks like Necroz. 1's not enough. 2 is really good. Some decks you can even run 3. It just depends on how your build is. I run 2 of mine. I find that's good. Next one would be 2 UA Dreadnought Dunkers. He's really amazing. One of my other favorites also because of his effect. Not only he's a 25 beater, but also when he does piercing damage when he attacks a defense position monster. And when he does damage to your opponent, you can destroy 1 card in the field. So you can clear off a lot of cards free and fast. And then also, especially if he's equipped with Jersey, attack twice. That's up to 4 cards destroyed because of his attacks plus the piercing damage. So really amazing to have. I run 1 copy of Jinzo. There's a lot of situations if I have him on the field, so my monsters don't get bottomless or anything like Trental or anything like that. Jinzo's really good for that, to make sure my plays are safe, and also I can attack with more than just Slugger at that point, and not have to worry about back row as much. So Jinzo's really amazing to have. He's easy on the field. All you have to do is Monarch Stormforth or tribute a monster, and it's really easy. So Jinzo's really good to have, and he's came in handy a lot. That'd be it for the monsters. For the spells and traps, 3 Stadium, the main card in the deck. Stadium's effect is when you normal summon a UA, you can search your deck for a UA and add it to your hand. Also, when a UA monster is special summoned once per turn, all monsters on your side of the field get 500 attack, and that's permanent, so it stacks. It's really good, especially if you leave like your Blockbacker or Ace or even Dunker on the field. Just leave him there and let him keep on adding up 500 every turn. You know, you can do massive damage really fast, especially on games that are stalling really quickly, or if your opponent has something that's stopping you or stalling you, like I had in my local tournaments this week, playing against a stall deck. So Stadium is really amazing, and it adds that extra damage, and it gives you consistency in your deck. So next card is 3 copies of Monarch Stormforth. You tribute your opponent's monster instead of one of your own. You don't even have to have a monster on your side of the field, which is really awesome. And you tribute their monster for a monster in your hand. Now, of course, it only counts as 1 tribute, so if it's a level 7 or higher, you got to tribute 2, of course. But usually I use it to bring out Ace, bring out Slugger, Jinzo, and it comes in handy a lot. Clears off a card on there, clears off a monster on the field, and gives you one. So that's instant advantage. And it's quick play, so it can be used in succession. Go ahead, moving along. 2 terraforming. Help me get to stadium faster. Stadium's very important. Also, having 2 copies is really good, so it gets to your stadium faster, because that's very important, like I said. And having 1 is not enough. I seem not to draw to see it as much, even when I didn't even see my stadium. And 2 is working really good. 3 would be way too cloggy, but 2 has been perfect so far. I run 2 copies of UA signing deal. 3 is not too bad, but I'd rather have 2 because 3 is just too much damage if I happen to pull 1. But you special summon a UA from your deck. You take life points times 300 to its level. Usually I pull it out to bring out midfielder, ace, or slugger, yeah. So I don't take a lot of damage. Like if you bring out midfielder, you take 1200. Ace is 1500 damage to your life points, which is a decent amount, but you're getting that advantage for your monster, so you start making plays, and it's came in handy a lot, so I can't complain about it. Especially to get an instant ace on the field, start gaining advantage. One of my other favorites out of the spells would be Turnover Tactics. When I use it, I gotta have 2 or more UAs on the field, and then it takes all the monsters on the field, including your opponents. You gotta shuffle them all back in the deck. You get to special summon as many monsters from your deck with different names, UA monsters with different names, equal to the amount of monsters sent back into the decks totally, even your opponents, counting both your and your opponent's field. Of course, up to 5. And you bring them on a field, and instant advantage. Your opponent gets to special summon afterwards monsters from their deck equal to the ones they sent back to their own deck. So, for say, your opponent has 2 monsters on the field, and you have 2 monsters on the field, you get to special summon 4, they get to special summon 2. So now you got 2 up advantage, which is really amazing. And especially if you have an exceeding monster on the field, that goes back to the extra deck. And they got to special summon some regular monster from their deck. Now, make sure you know what deck you're playing against to use this, because you don't want to use it against a deck that might get more advantage than you from special summoning monsters. So you gotta be careful for that. Also, the other part of the effect is that the monsters that you special summon can't attack that turn. But you can bounce those to your hand if you have any UAs in your hand and bring them out, and they can attack. Because it doesn't, you can't. You just go do your battle phase, but the monsters you special summon can't attack. So turnover tactics just do really good. I run only 1 copy of Power Jersey. I was running 3, which is still not bad, but I had to make room for certain cards. So I put Jersey down to 1. It's been testing Stu pretty well, because I can still pull it to my hand because of penalty box. And sometimes I'll pull it, draw it, because I go through my deck pretty fast when I have my UA Stadium on the field, and along with my Reckless Greeds. So 1's good. I might bump it up to 2. I said I'm still playing around with the deck build just a little bit, so I might run a Glow Bob in it. But right now I got 3 Rhodas. It's just getting to midfield faster, and even if have already been through all my midfielders and I draw Reinforcement of the Army, I can just use it as a ditch card for Ace. So I guess it's not really that bad. It's really important to get midfielder, or if you don't get midfielder, most likely you're gonna lose. So 2 MST, just to clear off annoying back row stuff like vanities or anything like that. Sometimes I don't see it when those are up, which sucks, but that happens. You can't really control that. I might run 3, but 2 has been okay for now, so 2's good. I run 2 copies of Dark Hole. In certain situations, especially if I don't get a midfielder, these do come in handy. And I also make a lot of plays still. Like, I've had games where I played against a stun deck who had Spirit Reaper, Marshmallow, and stuff like that in the field. I use my Dark Hole, normal summon a midfielder from my hand, because I usually make sure I have a midfielder in my hand by the end of my turn. Then bring out midfielder, bounce it up to my hand for rebounder, anybody like that. any that I like there and do my damage for game. That's what I did. I Dark Hold, midfielder, bounced in my hand for a rebounder, tagged for game. So you never know when Dark Hold. It's Dark Hold. If I had an extra Regeki for this deck, I'd run it in here. But I got all my Regekis in other decks. But when I play in the tournament, sometimes I'll switch out my Regeki. I let a friend use my Volcanic deck. I had my only extra Regeki in it last Tuesday. So it's all good though. Moving on. Just one copy of Book of Moon. It comes in handy, so I run it. It's Book of Moon staple. Moving on to the traps. I don't run very many. It's higher count right now, but I'm thinking about changing it up. 3 Reckless Greed, because this deck, especially if you don't got what you need, it's going to go slower until you start getting going. These help get there, and when you got your stadium on the field, the not being able to draw for 2 turns is not going to affect you as much. So Reckless Greed is really good for that. Currently run only 2 penalty boxes. I'm thinking about changing it up to 3 and removing one of my Call of the Haunteds. Because I use this for Ace. I discard this for Ace. And from the graveyard, you can banish it and add 1 UA spell or trap from your deck. So even if it's on your field and it's activated, somebody MSTs it, you can use it from the graveyard to get another penalty box. Or you can grab Signing Deal, Tactics, anything you need to gain advantage. Or Stadium. If you don't got your Stadium yet, you can MST your own penalty box or anything you need to do and get your Stadium. Another way to get Stadium, another way to get to any other card you need. So it's really good. Also, it's a regular effect. When your UA is attacking or is attacked, you can banish the other monster for 2 end phases. 2 of your opponent's end phases. So, and that's really, really awesome to have. And it just destroys decks and leaves me with advantage. So yeah. Last card, I'm running 2 Call of the Haunteds. Sorry about that. Forgot I changed out one of the Call of the Haunteds already. Especially when all my midfielders die, or if my sluggers die or aces die, I'll just Call of the Haunted them back, bounce them to my hand for a different UA, put them back on the field, and if Call of the Haunted gets destroyed, I'm not worried about it. I was actually thinking about running some Magic Planners in this deck because of all the continuous trap cards like Call of the Haunted and Penalty Box, and I think I might be trying that soon. I'm gonna test that theory out. This local's coming up, and I might, if it does really good, I'm gonna work on a new deck list and base it around that a little more, and maybe run 3 Call of the Haunteds and 3 Penalty Boxes and 3 Magic Planners instead of running my 3 Reckless Greeds. And see how that goes. So I like testing new decks and working on everything, and I love making the videos for them. So I'll be putting up more. And my last card is just an evac. I took out one of my Call of the Haunteds for the evac because evac's been coming in handy a lot, especially since I play against a lot of fluffles on my locals. So I decided to put evac in there against sheep. So it's really good to have. I hope you guys enjoyed my deck profile for my UAs. They're really fun. I really enjoy them. And a friend at the local tournaments actually runs them, and he gave me the inspiration to want to make them. So I really enjoy it. I'll be coming out with more decks and making more decks. Next, I'm working on Evil Swarms and possibly a couple other decks. We'll be having 6 Samurai coming to you too. Also, Performals. Those are almost done also, and have videos for those. If you guys want to see anything else, or want anything else from me that you guys would like to see, just let me know, and I will do my best to do that. Thank you guys. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, like. Have a good day.